I could have everyone's attention, we'd like to go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to welcome you to our 2022 University of North Alabama Fall Sports Media Day. It's always an exciting time because, new seasons, new student athletes, sometimes new coaches, but there's always the excitement of the new season, and this year there's so many more reasons to be excited here at the University of North Alabama with everything that's going on. And last year we had just hired our new athletic director, Dr. Josh Looney, and he was here for Media Day but didn't really speak. He just actually got into town and kind of getting oriented into everything, but made a lot of changes in the last year and a lot of good things going on, and we're going to ask him to come up and just speak for a few minutes and talk about some of those things.
Thank you, Jeff, and thanks everyone for being here. I think the theme that you're going to hear from our coaches and student athletes today is the word transition has now been eliminated from the vocabulary at the University of North Alabama's athletic department. Exciting news last week, of course, we arrived as a full Division I member, and those that have been here through all 4 years of the process, obviously I only got to experience the final year of that. Transition is a real thing, and transitions are meant to be tough. They're meant to be difficult. They're long, they're tedious, and it's truly something that takes an entire university to get through and to get through successfully. And so I wanted to recognize our transition team members, but also our coaches and student athletes who competed during the transition. They brought it every day with the deck stacked against them with the transition rules, and a lot of gratitude goes to them. But when you go through a transition, it is a true university rise to Division I, and that's truly what was here. 9 of our 11 transition team members who worked over the 4 years were non-members of the athletic department. Dr. Eric Kirkman, who is the director of the Kilby Laboratory School, was the chair of that transition and put countless hours into leading this team, and I thought publicly it would be appropriate to recognize those transition team members. Joining Dr. Kirkman, Dr. Kimberly Greenway. She was our Vice President of Student Affairs who retired earlier this summer. Miss Margarita Jones, she's in our Graduate Business Admissions office and is a senior recruiter for the university. Miss Sherry Kinnemer, who is in our athletic department as our Senior Associate Athletic Director for Student Success. Dr. Mark Lawrence, he's a professor in accounting. Dr. Ashley Quiros, an Associate Professor of History. Ms. Krista Rainey, a Senior Lecturer in our English Department. Dr. Jillian Stupiansky, Mathematics Professor. Evan Thornton, our CFO and Vice President at the University. Todd Vardaman, Senior Associate Athletic Director for Administration. And finally, Dr. Molly Mathis, Director of Institutional Research. Those members, countless meetings, and were a big piece of our successful NCAA transition. And so over the past 4 years, I think it's been talked a lot about here, but for this room, for coaches and athletes moving forward, it's about the next 4 and the next 4 after that. All right? We're an ambitious university, fastest growing university in the state, an ambitious athletic department, and our growth in Division I is critical, and it will be molded here in the next 4 years post-transition. So that's what you'll hear a lot of in our athletic department this year, the next year, and coming through is growing in this era. Simply getting there is not the goal. Getting there is not good enough for the people in this room. It's where we take it from here and how we grow. And look at other institutions around us that have done it and done it successfully maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years prior. And that's where we are at the University of North Alabama. With that, we have a great mix of coaches to go into our first year of full Division I membership. A great mix of some that coached here in the Division II era and through the transition, some that joined us at the start, and 4 new head coaches that joined us here this year. And you'll hear from one of them as he'll make his head coaching debut here in just a few weeks. But I also want to recognize our non-fall coaches. But from our fall perspective, Tristan Johnson is our new volleyball coach. He comes to us with every accolade of 30 under 30 or whatever you want to say. But what I can tell you about Tristan, who we hired in December, you will see a distinct difference in the look and competitiveness of our volleyball team here as they start going. I think they had a great spring year, been able to pop in some of their practices and just done a tremendous job. So Tristan's right here. I know some of you met him, but you'll hear him from today. Joining Tristan, Elia Garrido Rivas is here. She's in the back, our new director of tennis. Aitor Perez is with us as well. He will be leading our men's tennis program. Eli and I worked together at Missouri Western, and we're able to flip a tennis program into a competitive level at the Division II. And after I left Missouri Western to join UNA, Elia left and got her first Division I head coaching job at NJIT. We were able to pull her over here as a sitting Division I head coach, and excited for what she's going to bring to the table. Luke Calcaterra, you won't hear from him today. He is our new men's golf coach. Luke is going to be a tremendous asset to our program, another program that has a lot of new faces that will come in. Luke brings a national championship at the Division II level to our department. He won the 2021 national title at Arkansas Tech. What I love about what Luke has brought is there's only one Division II team in the history of Division II men's golf that made 5 consecutive medal matches. And medal matches is that final 8, right, where you're truly playing for the national title. And it's not a school in Florida and all the ones you think. It's one that was at Russellville Country Club in Russellville, Arkansas, and is what Luke was able to build at Arkansas Tech. So we're excited that he's with us and joining us. And then our newest hire is Chad Prakniak. He's unable to join us today. He's in the middle of moving his family from Delaware to the Shoals. But Jad brings a great record of success, both as a head coach and assistant coach at the Division II and Division I levels, most recently the last 2 years at the University of Delaware, but adding national championships to our department. He won 2 as the head coach at Westchester, 1 in 2012 and 1 in 2017. I was actually an athletic director, an opposing athletic director in the league in his 2017 run. What's incredible is he did that at Westchester with just 2 scholarships to operate off of, taking on a lot of programs that were funded much higher levels. So we're excited to welcome Jad to the family as well. Wanted to mention a few facility projects that we've been able to either start, conclude this summer, and all done and funded by external support and donors. Obviously, a lot has been shared on our football locker room. Phase 1 is complete. Our guys reported to the new locker room. I mentioned Phase 1. Branding will continue to be installed there over the next 8 to 12 weeks, and by the end of our football season, I think you'll see one of the finest FCS football locker rooms in the country. That's their everyday home, and a much-needed enhancement, as there have been limited additions to that facility since 1984, which is why we named it Project 1984. Our fundraising was so successful in there, we actually extended that fundraising initiative to move into our athletic training room, which will be completely renovated and expanded. That actually work will start later this month and be concluded at the end of September. Excited there. We'll break ground here in just a few weeks on an indoor softball facility. And I know Coach Cozart is excited about that. That'll be a hitting facility that's at the Cot Creeks Park. And then we have a number of other enhancements that occurred this summer that we haven't talked about publicly. And I know our coaches are excited. Cross country is getting a new team space and I guess locker area, coaches' offices. That's a program that really hasn't had their own space for coaching or otherwise. That will be completed later this month in Flowers Hall. We've had a number of enhancements to women's soccer. Their locker room received a renovation and upgrade this summer. They now have the FIFA-style benches that will be there as part of their game day atmosphere, and we have a few more game day additions for them. Our volleyball program just is about to complete Phase 3 of their locker room project. It's actually just finishing, and they will be in an alternate locker room when they report for their training camp here this week, but it will be an exciting and very impressive locker room enhancement. Women's basketball is working on Phase 3 of theirs. We expect to launch that locker room enhancement in the spring once their season is over. Enhancements for our tennis courts are underway, and then last but certainly not least, our women's golf program was able to purchase a Sprinter van for their team travel, and it's not just any Sprinter van. We call it the private jets of Sprinter vans with TVs and workstations and all sorts of things. They will be the best traveled team in the ASUN, no doubt, and as you know, of our golf programs, that's where our athletes spend their most time. And then finally, wanted to just comment on our brand enhancement that you'll see phased roll out. We're excited, and our student athletes and coaches are particularly excited about the evolution of our athletics brand and identity. Those discussions actually started with student athlete leaders and coaches back in the first month or two I was here, of a need to energize and modernize our on-field competitive look. And as we really dove into this project, beyond that, our 14 sports have been scattered all across. If you look at a softball jersey, it looks different than women's basketball, which looks different than men's basketball, which looks different than volleyball, and really want to do something to bring all of our teams under one umbrella and move forward. We're also very limited in licensing and linear and digital application with our past logo, which was designed, before all of those were very important to institutions as they move forward. So very excited about that rollout, and you'll probably see the first team to fully wear it as we phase will be football. We'll have those stickers on their helmets and some patches on their jerseys. But it'll be a multi-year rollout, and then our basketball and volleyball floor will probably be the first thing you see that has changed. They've started work on that today, and here in about 2.5 weeks, that will have a new paint job and be fully functional. So a lot of exciting things here at the University of North Alabama in athletics. I know you want to hear from our coaches, and I'll turn it over to them. But this is a group that we're excited to raise the roar, and a lot of work's been done, but there's a ton of work ahead, and we take great responsibility in carrying it forward. So appreciate everybody coming out today. Thank you.